Wow, what wonderful talks. And I know that Claire would have cherished those talks. And as you will hear as I talk about her life, I know that there are many people here at the conference the first time, they wouldn't have known her. And I want to go through her professional achievements and try and tell you what a wonderful woman she was. I've got some slides, and the slides will cover various incidents and things in her life. And also I have some of the tributes to her that were posted on the New Zealand Herald Tribune soon after she died on the 23rd of December last year. So the facts. She was born in 1965 in Dundee, and her father was a lecturer in chemistry at the University of Dundee, and her mother was a teacher in mathematics. And from a very early age, Claire wanted to be a doctor. And she went to medical school in Edinburgh. And during her time there, she decided to take a sabbatical, and the sabbatical was to go to Mexico, not to learn medicine, but to learn to speak fluent Spanish, a typical Claire act. So that was very helpful to her because working later for World Thrombosis Day and as president as ISTH, she could go to South America. Here she is on stage with the Minister of Health from the country we were in, Costa Rica. She gave a lecture, and afterwards she argued with him about healthcare in Costa Rica and women's position there, all in fluent Spanish. So she graduated from Edinburgh, and soon after graduation, she decided she wanted to do hematology, and she moved to Auckland, New Zealand, where she spent the rest of her life. And her spark and her fiery personality and her clear vision and her sensible opinions were much appreciated by individuals there. She became a fellow of the College of Physicians there, and she also was a fellow of the College of Pathology. But I think New Zealand was too small for her, and she started to do more international work. She started writing. She was passionate about women's issues, and she gained a number of positions in the Australasian societies looking at women's health and hematology. But that wasn't enough for her, and in 2014, she joined the World Thrombosis Day team when it started, was a very good member of the committee, and was vice president of the committee. Unfortunately, she died before she was able to take up the chair of the steering group. She also, for 2 years, was the president of the ISTH. And she was everywhere hectoring and improving care. So we have somebody here who is a leader. She's a born leader, and she also published widely. She's had over 70 publications, very much on the topics that we have discussed today. She was passionate about improving care of women with metal heart valves during pregnancy, and particularly looking at the indigenous people in New Zealand. She wrote a lot about postpartum hemorrhage. She traveled to Nigeria to educate on behalf of the ISTH more than once. She worked closely with the Pan-Asian group and traveled to Japan and other countries to deliver education and teaching. And she kept going back to South America. Here we have a tribute to her from the Mexican Society of Thrombosis and Hemostasis. So she was very generous with her time, and she often left her 2 daughters, Vita and Hart, at home with her husband, John. She met John soon after getting to New Zealand. She gave the Burns speech. She had a very thick Glaswegian accent, and so she gave the Burns speech at a party in Auckland, and there she met John Reynolds, who's one of the premier artists in New Zealand, and they became very close, and their love story is absolutely wonderful. But why am I standing here sounding upset? Well, because Claire was the most amazing person. So when you were with her, you always had fun. She was extraordinarily good fun, as was Johnny, her husband. After she got a sad diagnosis, she only drank champagne, and for years we'd meet up with Johnny and Claire, and we'd only drink champagne because that's how life was. I have had a lot of people say to me since arriving here, we miss Claire. Louise, a member of the World Thrombosis Day Committee, was saying how sad it was that her warmth and her strength weren't here, and they had a little drink for her the other night. And others have said they miss her. She was the type of person who you'd like to be stuck in a lift with if you were stuck in a lift, or you wanted to go to the pub with. But it was her feminism and her leading by example, her real embracement of diversity and inclusion, which have helped move the ISTH forward. So as I come to the end of my slides, giving you just a feel, I hope, of what Claire was like, what fun she was, how she helped drive the ISTH to a better future, I want to show you some slides where I hope she's at peace. This is her and her daughter Hart, and her with her lovely partner and husband, Johnny. They were so meant for each other. And in appreciation of her life, I want to call on her friends and colleagues from New Zealand to sing us a song. Thank you.
Okay, this is a waiata, our song in Te Reo. It's the Maori language. It's called Te Aroha, and it just means love, hope, and peace for us all. Te aroha, te whakapono, me te rangi mai e, tātou tātou e. Te aroha, te whakapono, me te rangi mai e, tātou tātou e.